Welcome back to my channel. My name is Kelsey and today we're going to be doing my June and July TBR. So before we begin, if you hear any noises such as this, that's my son. He learned how to rock himself on the bouncer, so even though I turned the bouncer off, it's to his whim. It's what he wishes. So if you watched my last month's TBR, I have been a little delayed in the videos that I am releasing. So I decided to just cut out a July TBR, and that's why you're seeing it now with the June one. Just had to delay some of my videos because of the Hunger Games vlog. It took me a really long time to not only read the books, but analyze them, film, and then edit, but it took so much longer and so much of my life to release that vlog for you guys. So a lot of things have been delayed since then. We're just gonna kind of smush all of the vlog ideas into this video so you guys can see what's going to come up for the next 2 months of summer. So the reason I started with that whole spiel is because one of the videos that is delayed, and you will see it in June, is my taste test for Olivia Blake. I have a lot of Olivia Blake's books on my TBR because I read the Atlas 6 from her, absolutely loved it, and decided to buy everything that she's ever published. So we have quite a backlog of Olivia Blake books on my TBR. I wanted to do a taste test because I really loved the Atlas 6, like I said, and Alone with You in the Ether, but the rest of the Atlas 6 trilogy, still good, still 4 stars. I still really enjoyed them, but I'm wondering if I should continue buying from Olivia Blake, right? She has some releases this year that I've heard really good things. I've already bought 2 of them, and we also have Girl Dinner coming out this year. I'm just so excited for everything because her concepts are amazing. So I want to see if I should continue. Do I like her? Am I going to just enjoy everything she's written, right? That's the idea for this vlog. So the first book, I want to give her YA a chance, and this is My Mechanical Romance by Alexine Farrell Fulmuth, and I believe that is her real name. And this is a YA story about 2 teens named Belle and Theo. Belle is struggling to be the only girl of color in STEM at their high school. Theo has a really big fear of not living up to people's expectations. When they are thrown together in a robot building competition, they create a beautiful organic love story that helps them both discover all the best versions of themselves. I love the way Olivia Blake writes romance and stuff in just the few books that I've read. So I really think that if anything could make me like YA, because you'll see I'm struggling with my YA TBR, but if anyone could make me like YA, I really do think it's Olivia Blake. So I want to try out a YA from her. And then we have the 2 releases from the last few years that I haven't read yet. One is Masters of Death, and this is about 2 characters, one named Viola and one named Fox. And Viola is not only a vampire, but a real estate agent, and the house that she is trying to sell is currently haunted. Fox is a medium, so obviously Viola recruits him in order to help her deal with the haunted spirit that is in this house that she desperately needs to sell. I think that sounds so funny and fun. I'm hoping for this to really make me laugh, and that the characters are going to be something that I really enjoy. And then the final book for that vlog is going to be One for My Enemy, and from what I understand, I think this is a Romeo and Juliet retelling. It follows 2 sides of a crime syndicate in a city. One of them is the Antonova sisters, each one beautiful, cunning, and ruthless, and their mother the elusive supplier of premium intoxicants known only as Baba Yaga. On the other side, the influential Fedorov brothers serve their father, the crime boss known as Koshke the Deathless, whose community extortion ventures dominate the shadows of magical Manhattan. After 12 years of tenuous coexistence, a change in one family's interests causes a rift in the existing stalemate. So 2 crime families going against each other. Probably one of the Antonova sisters is going to fall in love with one of the Fedorov brothers. I don't see myself enjoying this one the most because I've realized that Romeo and Juliet retellings just don't do it for me, but the magical aspect of this might help. I'm going into this with an open mind. Then, as mentioned, I've been struggling with my YA TBR. I am not enjoying a lot of the YA I've been picking up, so I kind of want to dwindle down all of the YA that I have on my TBR. And I started a series on my channel called Dwindle Down My YA TBR, and the goal obviously is to get that all down. I'm hoping by next year, at least by 2026, I want to have read at least 3/4 or gotten rid of at least 3/4 of that TBR. There always are gems in YA, but I struggle finding them more and more as I grow up, as I age. Theme for this month's Dwindle Down My YA is sequels. 2 of these are sequels of books that I feel meh about, but I'm interested enough in the conclusion of them that I want to finish this off. And then this is just an excuse to read a highly anticipated sequel. So let's get into what they are. The first one is The Storm of Life by Amy Rose Capetta. This is the sequel to The Brilliant Death, which is a book I read so so long ago. I don't even remember when it was. It has to be like 2016, 2017. I bought it when I first discovered BookTube, especially because I was discovering a lot of like LGBTQIA plus literature and YA specifically. I didn't have that representation when I was in high school, so I really wanted to read it as a young adult. And by young adult, I do mean the textbook definition, like in my 20s. My early 20s. So this is the sequel, and it follows a strega named Teodora di Sangro, and a strega is the Italian word for witch. Teodora is learning how to use these new powers, but her beloved country of Venalia has descended into chaos, and she must now use them to defend her nation. But will fighting for Venalia mean risking the love she's been waiting for? I'll be honest with you, I don't really remember what happened in The Brilliant Death, so I definitely will need to read like some sort of synopsis or review on the book, but I just remember really enjoying it because it had that representation that I was craving, but also because it takes place in Italy. That is where my family's from, so obviously it was really appealing to me. There's words used that I understand. I love that aspect of books, so that is what's making me want to continue this, and I do remember enjoying it enough, but definitely this is just to read to get off the TBR. Similarly with Wings of Shadow by Nikki Pao Preto, this is the third book and the finale to A Crown of Feathers trilogy. And like I said, I did enjoy the first two books. It essentially follows a young girl named Veronica who lives with her sister, and they're sort of isolated from the rest of the world. And they have these like phoenix eggs that they are waiting to hatch because they are related to the like rebel side of this kingdom. In order to learn how to ride phoenixes, in the first book, Veronica dresses as a stable boy and works as a phoenix rider apprentice. And the story obviously unfolds from there because we learn a lot of things about Veronica and who she really is. Whoa! And who she really is and her role within this world. So I don't want to get too much into spoilers. I remember enough that I do think I can continue this. I might listen to, again, some reviews or like a general brief synopsis before getting into this. But I remember liking it. I remember liking Nikki Pao Preto's writing enough to get myself to a third and final book. So I just want to read this to get this trilogy done. And hopefully I do enjoy it, but this is another one for the video. And then finally, the book that I'm just using this theme of sequels as an excuse, Heavenly Tyrant by Shirin J. Zhao. This is the sequel to Iron Widow. I thought it was the finale, but I don't think so. I think it's just a sequel, which is really exciting to me because I loved Iron Widow. It follows a girl named Zhe Xian who, after witnessing her sister die at the hands of this like really weird system that they have here. Basically, they have these mechas that are controlled by a like female spirit and a male spirit. The female spirit is meant to like ground the male spirit in the mechas. Often the women are just used to suck up all their power for the man, and then they end up perishing. Zhe Xian's sister is one of those girls that unfortunately dies, and so in order to get revenge, she volunteers to be one of the girls to enter these mechas. Everybody discovers that she is far more powerful than they originally thought. This is one of the most interesting YAs I have on my TBR, so very excited that this is just a sequel, not a finale, and I will definitely be continuing, hopefully. Fingers crossed. But yeah, these are the books I will be reading for the Dwindle Down My YA TBR. Next, I've been dying to get a 5-star read. Dying. I've been really struggling this year with 5 stars. In the spirit of that, I want to read some 5-star predictions. I have books on my TBR that I'm very excited to read, and you know how it is. You always put them off because you're like, I will like that, so I don't need to read it right away. But I want to read it right away. These are some recent purchases for me. The first one is the most recent purchase, and that is Deep Cuts by Holly Brickley. This sounds like something I will really enjoy because it is about music, and I often tend to really like books about music. So things like Daisy Jones and the Six, The Final Revival of Opal and Nev, like books like that I absolutely love. So this is a love story about two people pulled apart by the same force that draws them together, music. It's Friday night in a campus bar in Berkeley, and Percy Marks is pontificating, about music again. Hall & Oates is on the jukebox, and Percy, who has no talent for music, just lots of opinions about it, can't stop herself from overanalyzing the song, indulging what she knows to be her most annoying habit. The guy beside her at the bar, fellow student Joe Morrow, is a songwriter, and he could listen to Percy talk all night. That sounds like my 16-year-old dream. I am probably still very pretentious about music. 16-year-old me would have loved for a songwriter to fall in love with me, love me to his deepest depths of souls, to write songs about me. I need to read this because I feel like I'm absolutely going to adore this. So this is one that I think I will absolutely adore. Obviously, that's why it's on this TBR. Then we have a book that I've been hearing nothing but excellent things about. I don't think I've seen a single bad review for this. Dungeon Crawler Carl, Jesus, by Matt Dinniman. You know what's worse than breaking up with your girlfriend? Being stuck with her prize-winning show cat. And you know what's worse than that? An alien invasion, the destruction of all man-made structures on Earth, and the systematic exploitation of all survivors for a sadistic intergalactic game show. That's what. From what I understand, this follows Carl, who, along with a cat named Princess, I think? Princess Donut, have to enter these different dungeons and survive them like a video game in a sense for the entertainment of like aliens. It's a reality show. That just sounds so freaking fun. I want to have fun, and I feel like this is going to give it to me. I want to laugh. High expectations for this one. Then we have ML Wong's newest release, Blood Over Bright Haven. Again, heard nothing but excellent things about this one. I really enjoyed ML Wong's first book, The Sword of Kaigen. So I'm really expecting to enjoy this one, especially because I've heard the themes are really evocative, and that's something that I absolutely need in books to give it 5 stars. This follows Sayana, who is the first woman ever admitted to the prestigious Order of Mages, and she unravels a secret conspiracy that could change the practice of magic forever. Her new colleagues are determined to make her feel unwelcome, and instead of giving her a qualified lab assistant, they give her a janitor. So I know that this is supposed to talk about like feminism, but also colonialism, racism. This, I think, is going to be a really hard-hitting fantasy novel, and I usually tend to love those and give them 5 stars. So, anticipating this, and also like, this is just a regular edition. I love when publishers just give me a little sprayed edge, and I don't have to pay extra for it. And then finally, the last book, again, that I've heard absolutely nothing but excellent things about is The Will of the Many by James Islington. But this follows a character named Viz Telemus, and he gets accepted to the most prestigious school, but he has been sent to the school in order to uncover things. I think he has to uncover a murder, to solve a murder, to search for an ancient weapon, to uncover secrets that may tear the Republic apart, and that I will never ever cede my will to the empire that executed my family. Oh yeah, they're in this world where it's like a hierarchy, and the people at the bottom give their will to the people at the top, who give it to the top, who give it to the top. The people at the absolute utmost top form of society receive everyone's will, and so obviously they are the most powerful magic wise. Like I said, nothing but excellent things for this book. Everybody's been really loving it. It just sounds incredible. I love a school setting, so I really think that this could work for me, and that is why it's also part of the 5-star video. Now you might be saying to yourself, Kelsey, that is a lot of series you've started. And you would be absolutely freaking correct. So what did I decide to do? Let me throw in a Finish a Series with me. Finish a Series is a series on my channel where, where I try to finish books. I buy a lot of books, obviously. Why do I have so many physical copies of books? She has an issue. And so when I like the first book, I buy the rest of the series if it's out. Now, in this case, I want to read everything Robin Hobb has ever written, but I've stopped myself and only bought the Farseer trilogy. To continue with Robin Hobb, I need to read the rest of the series. I have already read Assassin's Apprentice, and I gave this a 3.5 stars, but that is unacceptable to me because I do think, from what I've heard, that this could be a 5-star series for me. Unlike with my previous series where I don't reread the first however many books I read. In this video, I do plan to read it because I don't feel like I've grasped it the way it was meant to be grasped. So this follows the bastard son of the crown prince named Fitz, who is raised in the castle stables because he is sort of despised because the prince had to abdicate the throne due to this like controversy and scandal. And in order to be useful to the crown, to have a purpose and a reason for keeping him around, they train him to be an assassin and shown how to use the traditional magic of the Farseer trilogy. Now, Fitz is a main character in multiple trilogies that Robin Hobb has written, I think. So this is really his like childhood to adulthood, I think. We have the first book, The Assassin's Apprentice, the second book, The Royal Assassin, and then the final book in the trilogy, Assassin's Quest. I'm really looking forward to reading all 3 of these because, like I said, I think this could be a 5-star series for me. I just need to reread this and like tell myself that this is a 5-star book and to stop being so picky. And then the final vlog I have planned for the next 2 months, I want to read some girl boss memoirs. So you'll see what I mean in a second. But I have purchased quite a few memoirs, nonfiction by female celebrities. I have heard that all of these books have really conscientious musings and interesting stories and just like heartfelt messages within the book, and I just really want to read them, and I just am so interested in their thoughts about being celebrities and being women in this day and age, but with far more people looking at them, right? So the first book I have is Paris, the memoir by Paris Hilton. Obviously, she is the it girl of the early 2000s. That's Hot was definitely in my lexicon. She was just an icon of that era. I was young, right? I was probably like 11, 12 when I had first heard about Paris Hilton, and a lot of what I know about Paris Hilton is shaped by what I see in the media. And in fact, two other memoirs in this collection are pretty much the same. I've heard really excellent things about this memoir. You're really diving into Paris's branding, what she presented and what she really was, what happened to her behind the scenes. This is all stuff that I'm very intrigued by, and so looking forward to reading this. And I see that it also includes Paris's motherhood journey. I don't know if that wasn't included in the first edition of this, but that could be really interesting to me because I am currently in my motherhood journey, so really looking forward to that. Then keeping along with icons of the early 2000s, we have Britney Spears' memoir, The Woman in Me. The Woman in Me is a brave, astonishingly moving story about freedom, fame, motherhood, survival, faith, and hope. In June 2020 the world was listening as Britney Spears spoke in open court. The impact of her sharing her voice, her truth, was undeniable, and it changed the course of her life and the lives of countless others. The Woman in Me reveals for the first time her incredible journey and the strength at the core of one of the greatest performers in pop music history. I was a Britney girl. The first CD I ever bought with my own money from chores was Oops, I Did It Again. I used to buy all of her tour DVDs and watch them. She is another icon to me, exactly. And so like, oh, she's just an icon. And I've heard, again, very excellent things about the way this is written and the like vulnerability that Britney Spears has in this book. So looking forward to that. And then maybe a current icon of the 2020s, we have Down the Drain by Julia Fox. Similarly, this is about Julia's life and her rise to fame as well. Julia also got a lot of, not shit, but like slack for her coming into the industry. Uncle Jams, you know, we know a lot of things about Julia Fox. Sometimes you just have to say fuck it and throw your life down the drain just to see where you'll come out on the other side. The most profound beauty emerges from the ashes of destruction. And by that, I mean that sometimes you have to burn your life to the ground in order to experience the life that is truly meant for you. If you believe in the power within yourself, anything is possible. So once again, I've heard good things. Julia Fox is also a single mother. I feel like all of these will have these additions and themes of motherhood that I think could be really interesting for me. And then finally, unrelated, but she's an icon to me, we have No One Asked for This by Cazzie David. She is Larry David's daughter. I love Curb Your Enthusiasm, really shaped who I am today, Seinfeld as well. For Cazzie David, the world is one big trapdoor leading to death, despair, and social phobia. From shame spirals caused by hookups to panic attacks about being alive and everyone else having to be alive too, David chronicles her life's most chaotic moments with wit, bleak humor, and a megadose of self-awareness. With pitch black humor resonant of her father and topics that speak uniquely to a generation, this book is the perfect companion for when you don't really want a companion. I think I am a little bit of a nihilist lately. I do think maybe perhaps the world of which we are living in now creates a lot of depression and despair amongst people. So I do think this could be really relatable, and I'm looking forward to reading this as well. Cazzie David is an icon to me, and so she belongs with all the other icons for that iconic video. Hello, just coming in here because I got this book in the mail, and it is going to be the Professor Kelsey's book club selection for June and July. Usually we do it every month. This year, obviously, as it is my son's first year of life, I am a little behind on scheduling live shows. So Justin and Bobby don't know this, but I'm gonna ask them in the live show this week for The Death of the Author if we could possibly do it every 2 months. So that way, June, July, we will be reading The Devils by Joe Abercrombie. This is a new release from Joe Abercrombie, and I've never read from him before, so I'm happy to start here. Holy work sometimes requires unholy deeds. Fuck yes, I knew this was called The Devils. I didn't know it was about religion. I love religion and fantasy. Brother Diaz has been summoned to the secret city where he is certain a communication and grand holy assignment awaits him. But his new flock is made up of unrepentant murderers, practitioners of ghastly magic, and outright monsters. The mission he is tasked with will require bloody measures from them all in order to achieve its righteous ends. Elves lurk at our borders and hunger for our flesh, while greedy princes care for nothing but their own ambitions and comfort. With an epic, hellish journey before him, it's a good thing Brother Diaz has the devils on his side. Like, hello? This is the shit I love. As an ex-Catholic, I'm sorry, we ball Catholics, the imagery, I have to say, it's sickening. And that's it. Those are all of the books, all of the vlogs I have planned for the next few months. If you've read any of these books, please let me know down below what you thought about them. Did you like them? Did you hate them? Let me know. And of course, if you would like to follow me on any of my other social medias, I do for now leave a link down below to my Twitter, Goodreads, and Instagram if you would like to follow me there. But of course, all three of those are owned by billionaires who want to ruin our lives. So one day they might not be there anymore when you're watching this video, but if they are, give me a follow, give me a shout. And of course, because it is the end of the video, please do not forget to like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. It does wonders for my channel, makes me feel really good. And that's it. I never know how to end these things, so I will see you next time. Okay, bye!